What's up, guys? Coach Luca here from Hardstyle Kettlebell Pro. I want to teach you how you can combine kettlebells with calisthenics. I started training calisthenics in prison. Funny enough, later on, I also started training kettlebells in prison. But calisthenics became my first love in training, and I became obsessed with body weight exercises. I was lucky enough to order and read this book. It's called Convict Conditioning by Paul Wade. I highly recommend this book for anyone wanting to learn calisthenics, and what he teaches in here comes from old school prison calisthenics that is almost like a lost art. Just a brief history on calisthenics. The word calisthenics comes from the Greek word kalos, which means beautiful strength. Nowadays, we interpret it in terms of body weight exercises, but we don't want to lose that aesthetic purpose, that aesthetic value in the training. That's why body weight exercises are actually really beautiful when executed properly. So we want to pay attention to technique. I'm going to make a recommendation on how you can combine both the training protocols from Convict Conditioning as well as my favorite kettlebell book, Simple and Sinister. We're going to use both methods in a very nice sequence that is going to be simple, yet you're going to go get the most out of every movement. Now, Kettlebell Simple and Sinister is only 2 exercises, which means it can be done as a standalone program. In the book, Pavel talks about if you are already performing a strength program, minimize to only 2 Simple and Sinister sessions a week, which is why we're going to focus on calisthenic movements for 3 times a week, and we're going to alternate with Simple and Sinister, the one-arm swings, and the get-ups. In the Convict Conditioning book, he focuses on the 6 big exercises. You have the push-up, the pull-up, the pistol, the handstand. You have the hanging leg raise, and you also have the back bridge. We're not going to do all of them, but we're going to limit to 3 exercises per training session. So we're going to alternate 3 in one session and the other 3 into another. I'm going to give you also some other options which are my favorites in calisthenics. The first exercise we're going to focus on is a pushing movement. I'm going to give you the option of a push-up. You can also do dips if you like, if you are advanced. The push-up is classic. Keeps it simple but works your whole body in a strong pressing movement. So get in a straight arm plank, shoulders down, brace your abs and your lower body. Pull yourself down and press back up. Apply the power breath on the way up. Breathe in through your nose on the way down. You can go smoothly at a controlled cadence or a little more explosively as you wish. Either on your palms or on your fist. For your dips, be careful for your shoulders. You don't want to be overstretching them, which is why I'm going to recommend you lean forward, almost like a decline bench press. So make sure that the bars are in a V, ideally, and the point is towards you. This is going to put your shoulders in an externally rotated position and safe when you do your dips. So I'm going to start with my arms straight, knees bent, abs tight, shoulders down. I'm going to lean forward. You can do them body weight or weighted with a kettlebell. So if you want to do some weighted dips with a kettlebell, super easy way to do it. Just hook your foot inside. If you are too tall like I am and your feet and the kettlebell touches the ground, bend your knee and lift it off the floor. Bring the other leg on top for support. and it still works. Second one is gonna be a pulling exercise. So you're gonna do either an inverted row or a pull-up, chin-up variation. Pull-ups or chin-up variation. If you have a straight bar, you can do either. You can also do some hanging, straight arm or flexed arm. Straight arm hang, flexed arm hang. You can also vary the position of your hands. You can supinate as in a chin-up or keep them pronated for your pull-ups. If you want to do weighted pull-ups and you have a kettlebell, try this. You're going to hook it up to your feet safely. Legs and arms straight, back leg behind, and pull. Come down under control and repeat. For your inverted rows, you need some parallel bars or a bar. You could have a barbell or something outside. You can use a table, you can use a TRX, just get creative. Get under something, grab a hold, keep your body in a plank, and pull yourself back up. These are inverted rows, also known as body rows. For your lower body, you're gonna do the classical pistol squat or a variation which is called the airborne lunge. Make sure that you have enough ankle mobility, otherwise you may have to elevate your heel. Load it with the kettlebell or unload it. Balance, pull yourself down, stay tight, and power on your way up with your breath. The airborne lunge is your pistol squat alternative. Instead of having your legs straight, bend it back, and you're gonna hinge your hips and go down into a squat. Go down as deeply as possible, make your back knee touch the ground, and power back up. For the handstand, you could do the handstand hold against the wall or the handstand push up if you have the strength. Set up with your hands about 12 inches away and kick up with one leg. Have the other leg meet both and keep your legs straight at the top. I'm writing down. Again, you could do it on your palms or on your fists. Come down smoothly. We're also gonna add some hanging leg raises as well. You can do some variations, which I'll show you, some knee raises. And we're also gonna do some back bridges as well. The hanging leg raise is an assistance exercise to the pull-ups. If you can't do the full movement, start with your knees. Hang from the bar, shoulder width apart. Back your shoulders, power breathe on the way up. Or bring your legs up to 90. Or try all the way up. Come down, super controlled. The back bridge is quite challenging for your spine, so make sure you increase your extension and your mobility first, especially for your shoulders. So it's also quite hard, so be mindful and use the proper progressions. This is the most advanced variation. You're gonna have your feet a little wider than your hips. Plant your hands behind your head like this. Lift up your hips, push to the ground with your arms, and extend your back all the way. Come back under control. A lot of work on your shoulders and your spine. If you want a little more leverage, which might be a little bit easier, is you're gonna elevate your feet. So use a bench or a box, heels on the bench, plant them, hands behind you, and you lift up your hips and press through the ground and come back down under control. It's gonna feel like a combination of a handstand and a bridge. So here's how you're gonna program your training. You will do your Convict conditioning, your calisthenics training, 3 times a week. Ideally, it should be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You will alternate between session A and session B. So on given week, it would be A, B, A. On the alternative week, it would be B, A, B. In between, you would do your simple and sinister training, kettlebell only, 1-arm swings and get-ups. Have this more on a maintenance level and focus on your calisthenics. The way to do it is you will have only 3 exercises for each session. Session A, you will have a push-up or a dip, a pull-up or a chin-up, and a bridging movement. Session B, you're going to have your handstand push-up or your handstand, your hanging leg raise or your hanging knee raises, and the third one would be pistols or the airborne lunge. The way to do this is you would practice or train 3 to 5 sets and perform as many reps as possible. Notice I put -2 into brackets. -2 means you leave 2 reps in the tank and energy as a reserve. Never train to failure. If you're going for as long as possible, for example, you're doing a hold, like a flexed arm hang, a bridge hold, or a handstand hold, you're going to go as long as possible, -20%. So you're always leaving that buffer, that about 20% buffer, that you could probably go a little bit longer, but you save that for the next set. It's going to give you more, you could say, capacity for later, for progress, and help you build momentum in your training. So remember, we train with calisthenics and kettlebells. In case gyms close down, it's highly accessible. You don't need much else. If you don't have a pull-up bar, don't worry, just skip that exercise. Focus on calisthenics and train with a kettlebell. The reason why we train them is in case civilizations, in case gyms are temporary. Remember, they can lock you down, but they can't lock you up. The back bridge is quite challenging for the spine. Sorry about that, it's a T.